Hello, students. Today we have a very different kind of a poem to enjoy, A Legend of the Northland. You can see the picture. I'm showing you here snow everywhere. So probably it's time of winter. A Legend of the Northland is a ballad. So let us understand what is a legend and what is a ballad. A legend is a non historical or unverifiable story handed down by tradition from earlier times and popularly accepted as historical. You must have come across lot of legends, told to you by your grandparents, your parents, and ballad. Ballad is a poem narrating a story in short stanzas. Ballad is such kind of poem which tells a story in short stanzas, and in the poem all the stanzas comprise four lines. In total there are 16 stanzas in this poem, and they will tell us a story. Ballads are a part of folk culture or popular culture and are passed on orally from one generation to the next. Folk culture is a story of any idea and of any area, sorry, and is known as ballad. Folk culture it comprises of traditional stories which are passed on from one generation to next generation. So hence this a legend of Northland, so you can understand what it is. So this story is of the Northland area, the area which is near the North Pole. So this exact place is not specified, but Northland means the area in the northernmost part of the earth, that is near the North Pole. So there are some examples of ballad which you can enjoy, like Lochinvar, Highwayman, Lord Alien's Daughter, The Pied Piper of Hamelin, and the Ballad of East and West, just to name a few. Now about the poet, poetess rather, Phoebe Cary. Phoebe Cary, she was an American poetess and the younger sister of poet Alice Cary, both between 1820 to 1871. The sisters they co-published their poems in 1849 and then each went on to publish volumes of her own. And after their deaths in 1871, joint anthologies of the sisters' unpublished poems were also compiled. So, this is the picture of Phoebe Cary. Let's enjoy the poem. Away, away in the Northland, where the hours of the day are few, and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through. Where they harness the swift reindeer to the sledges when it snows, and the children look like bears' cubs in their funny, furry clothes. They tell them a curious story. I don't believe it's true, and yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. Once, when the good Saint Peter lived in the world below and walked about it, preaching just as he did, you know. So, children, here you will find out each stanza is very easy to understand. So, in the region around the North Pole, that is Northland, the duration of the day is very less because its position is such that the sun's rays reach for a very less time. When this area is experiencing winter season, the duration of night is very long and the daytime hours are very less. In line 4 day, refers to the people who live in this region. The poet says that the duration of the night time is so long that the people cannot sleep them through. If they go to bed, take a few hours of sleep, and then they wake up. It is still night time. He wants to emphasize on the fact that the duration of the night is very long. Then, in second stanza, the Northland region experiences severe cold conditions. It is a snowy area. The reindeer is an animal which is found in this polar region. People tie the reindeers to sledges and then the reindeers pull the sledges. He adds that the children look like young ones of a bear because they wear funny looking clothes made of fur, which is like the furry skin of a bear. Then he moves on in stanza 3. In line 1, they refers to the parents or elders, and them refers to the children or the younger generation. The elders of the Northland region tell a strange and interesting story to the younger generation. The poet says that he doesn't think that the story is true, but if he tells the story to the reader, maybe the reader could learn a lesson from it. The story gives an important message. The story is about Saint Peter when Saint Peter used to live in the world and went around giving religious lectures to the people, just like all saints do. Then an incident happened. Let's try to understand what is that. He came to the door of a cottage in traveling around the earth, where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. And being faint with fasting for the day was almost done, he asked her from a store of cakes to give him a single one. So she made a very little cake, but as it baking lay, she looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. Therefore, she needed another, and still a smaller one, but it looked, when she turned it over, as large as the first one had done. So, as Saint Peter had not eaten anything the entire day, he was very hungry and was feeling weak. So, he went to this woman who was baking cakes and he asked for one cake out of the many cakes that she had baked. But the woman was selfish. She did not give cake from her store. Instead, she started making a very small cake for Saint Peter. She did not want to share her things. But when she put the cake for baking, she looked at it and thought that this cake was too big to be given to someone. The little miser woman thought that the cake was too big to be given away, so she started making another cake. And then, as it baking lay, she looked at it, so she did not want to part with it at all. I hope you get that idea. Then she took a tiny scrap of dough and rolled it flat and baked it thin as a wafer. But she couldn't part with that, for she said, my cakes that seem too small when I eat of them myself are yet too large to give away. So she put them on the shelf. Then good Saint Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint, and surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint. And he said, you are far too selfish to dwell in a human form, to have both food and shelter, and fire to keep you warm. So he is angry now. He's feeling very weak, and the selfish woman is not ready to give him even a small cake. So this behavior of the greedy woman has angered the saint. He cursed the woman and said that she was very selfish. She did not deserve to live like a human being. He added that God had given her food, shelter, fire to keep her warm, but she had become selfish for all the resources she had. She did not want to share them with anybody. Now you shall build as the birds do, and shall get your scanty food by boring and boring and boring all day in the hard, dry wood. Then up she went through the chimney, never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker, for she was changed to a bird. She had a scarlet cap on her head, and that was left the same, but all the rest of her clothes were burnt, black as a coal in the flame. And every country schoolboy has seen her in the wood, where she lives in these trees till this very day, boring and boring for food. So, what is the curse now? She would become a bird because she did not deserve the human form. She shall become a bird, and just like birds build their houses by boring into the wood and collect very little food by working hard the entire day, similarly, she would also work hard in the dry wood all day and get little food and make a small place for herself to live in. And as soon as Saint Peter cursed the woman, she did not get a chance to speak for herself, because that very moment she flew up the roof through the chimney and flew out in the form of a bird. Saint Peter's curse had converted the woman into a bird. When the woman turned into a bird at that time, she was wearing a red colored cap on her head. This cap was there on the bird's head too, also. So, but the woman's remaining clothes had burnt and turned black in color, just like coal. So, people who live in the countryside, even the small children who go to school, seen this kind of bird in the woods, they see that she stays there all day and keeps on digging the wood with her beak to collect her food. Whenever any child sees this kind of bird, then his elders tell him this story. So they say that the bird used to be a woman earlier. She was very greedy, and so she was cursed by Saint Peter and turned into a bird. They get a teaching that they should not be greedy. So I hope this is clear to all of you. So bye till we meet in the next class.